Verdonschot looking stronger and stronger all the time. This looks very much like our battle for the podium, but don't discount Manon Bakker or Leonie Bentveld here into the sand. The speed, ooh, Manon Bakker comes to a halt. Bentveld manages to make it through. Save there from Manon Bakker.
You see what happens in that sand when the bike gets a little bit out of shape and out of that rut. It almost just came to a dead stop. Just goes to show how, like, kind of how much resistance is in that sand once you come out of the rut. But she did well to save it. Worst thing that can happen in sand, that front wheel tucks underneath you and you go over the bars.
Yes, indeed. 1 lap to go. Laura Verdonschot, our leader, goes through, gets the bell this time. Bentveld and Bakker come through. We'll get a time check this time. Manon Bakker breathing a huge sigh of relief behind. So 13 seconds to our chasers. It's just over the 20, going into about 24, 25 seconds it rounds up to there for Annemiek van Alphen. Back to our chasers. And this gap is going Manon Bakker. A little slide there, a little replay here of Laura Verdonschot in the sand. And just talk through Manon Bakker here.
Here we see it just kind of, you see that front wheel turns a little bit too much and just stops the bike almost dead. All her weight goes flying forward, but she's able to kind of, yeah, take that weight with the arms and get a foot down at the same time. Luckily, the front wheel didn't fold completely underneath her and send her out the front door. And Bentveld now just, makes a small mistake just when she was beginning to open up over Bakker there.
Is Bakker going to decide not to bike change this time? She is. Manon Bakker is just going to stay on that bike this time. Hand slings herself along the barriers. Oh, comes to a halt, though. Unfortunately, that's the trade-off, isn't it, when you're that close to the barriers?
She was desperate there. She really wanted to make up those few bike lengths she had just lost by riding that section of the course while Bentveld went in for a new bike. However, risk and reward there, just desperately trying to get as close to the barriers as possible to get a bit of green, get a bit of grip, perhaps the mud being less deep on that section, and that front wheel just caught the feet of those barriers and she came to a dead stop, has lost more time as a result to Bentveld, and Van Alphen just comes a little bit closer.
Annemiek van Alphen has always got a final lap burst of power. We know it from Annemiek van Alphen from the races that she's won in her career. So the Cyclocross Reds rider trying to come back to Manon Bakker, try and get herself on the podium. For Laura Verdonschot, though, it's just about stringing together as a perfect a final lap as you can. You can't let any of those little errors creep into your riding on this final lap. Bentveld, can she find anything else now on this final lap? She looks comfortable now in the podium. Bakker has got Van Alphen chasing her, but it looks like it should just be enough here.
Looks like those gaps are pretty well set, but like you said, it's kind of one mistake here and there, and on a very, very fast course like this, like just an innocuous corner like this, very, very slippy under the tyres, and you just get it a little bit wrong, fall out of that mud, catch a rut wrong, you can lose kind of 4 or 5 seconds with a small crash.
Can indeed. Laura Verdonschot, these final twists and turns here. This is, and you can't kind of you can't sort of undersell how important for a Belgian rider a televised Belgian cross win is.
No, not at all. It would be absolutely huge, not only for her, but her sponsors, her team. It's a Belgian team with a lot of Belgian sponsors all over that purple and black kit, so an absolutely huge day for them, being on TV for 45-50 minutes, but also getting on that top step of the podium as well. Just another time check, down to 10 seconds now between Verdonschot and Bentveld. I'm sure that's a bit of Verdonschot kind of calming down, easing back ever so slightly, making sure she isn't going to make one of those mistakes that we spoke about, but also Bentveld has that gap on Bakker now, so she's all in to go for that second place.
She is, and Leonie Bentveld will have that momentum. You know what will just be going through the mind now of Laura Verdonschot on this final lap here to De Coyster Bornash rider. Bianchi bike as well. We haven't seen a win in a Belgian cross on a Bianchi bike for a while.
Certainly not. And in the Celeste colours as well, just a beautiful looking bike. Leonie Bentveld, though, looks like she's got the bit between her teeth. I'm sure she's aware. You get kind of an understanding of how big the gap is on these different sections of the course. She would have been able to look across there and gauge it, but I'm sure running out of track, only about a quarter of a lap to go now.
You never, ever give up. Look at the power. Look at the gritted teeth here of Annick van Alphen chasing down Manon Bakker ahead of her. She wants that third spot on the podium. If she can manage to close it back up, Laura Verdonschot threading these corners together beautifully here. Our leader, the Belgian crowd, getting behind her. This will be a really popular moment for her. Swift feet over the planks for the final time. Remounts. There's Bentveld in the background. Leonie Bentveld, though, Ian, given that gap, you've just still got to have that belief, haven't you?
You have. You've got to continue pressing on, not only in case Verdonschot makes a mistake, but also Bakker behind. She knows she's going to take back probably 1.5, 2 seconds off the back of riding these planks. So she's got to continue to press on over the last section of this course.
Everyone here in Maldegem will just be willing this a home win, a Belgian winner. This traditional post-World Championship Wednesday afternoon cross. It carries a huge amount of prestige. As we said, it used to be where the world champion rolled out their rainbow jersey for the first time. We've seen Sanne Camp win here twice, Marianne Vos, Anna-Marie Verst for the last 3 years. And Laura Verdonschot out of that sand perfectly for the final time, and just stringing now these final banks together, and cannot let up. Got to keep the power down, keep the pressure on. Has a glance back now across the circuit. This is a moment that this rider has been waiting for. All those international victories, she will trade for this one. A win at home in Belgium for the first time since 2019. Laura Verdonschot takes the park cross here in Maldegem. Great ride from the De Kuijs de Bonache rider. Behind her, Leonie Bentveld comes home for second place for the Paushausen Bingoal team. And Manon Bakker safe on the podium in third place. It never disappoints, this course. Annick van Alphen in the background is going to come home for fourth. That's a big moment for Laura Verdonschot, though.
It is, and a really calculated ride from her. She went out there probably knowing she had the best form out of everyone, but you've still got to kind of take that favourite stature and win on the day. So she took it out hard. First 2 laps, she really tried to distance everyone. Was unable to, so she went back into the group. She had a good look at all the other riders, got an understanding of where they were strong, perhaps where she could make a difference. And then 2 laps to go, she went all in and took out the win.
She did indeed, and today's winner, Laura Verdonschot. Marianne Norbert-Riberola for the Krielen-Correndon team. He's going to be the next rider home in 5th position. So 10 seconds to second spot, and 21 seconds back to the third place on the podium, 34 back to Annick van Alphen. It's been a good season for Marianne Norbert-Riberola. Just these final banks, just stretches out that back and turns into our start-finish straights. So Krielen-Correndon taking 3rd and 5th today with Manon Bakker and Marianne Norbert-Riberola.
She equals her best of a 5th here. She's actually one of the only rider to win 2 races within this series previously this season. Alicia Frank comes up to the line, got a very, very good start. She'll be pleased for her teammate taking out the win.
Yeah, they've had a good day out. 1st and 6th for the De Kuijs de Bonache. And Julie Brouwers is going to come home for 7th place. So Julie Brouwers, 10th last year, moves up. Another rider that she's just getting stronger and stronger season after season, Julie Brouwers.
She certainly is. It's kind of, she's at that age where you're just looking for improvement year on year, and it's exactly what we're seeing from Brouwers. No huge breakthrough results quite yet, but I'm sure there's one just round the corner.
Larissa Hartog comes home. She was second in the last round in Zonnebaker, another rider, 22 years old. And will take a lot of confidence away from these races here in the Exact Cross. This is Francesca Baroni, the Italian rider from Huber Remotive. And didn't get the best of starts. This is a really good finish from Baroni, given where she was sort of first lap.
For sure, the form looks like it's just fallen away ever so slightly towards the end of this season. However, this is her 34th day of racing this season, and she hasn't raced much since the turn of the year through some illness and problems. So she was very much, I feel, a little bit over-raced up to the end of December, and is paying a price a little bit, but comes a little bit stronger towards the end of the race, which is good to see.
So Isa Nomden finishes in front of Los Cels here, so good to see Los Cels just outside the top 10 for Los Cels today.
Rolling back the years there, used to be kind of always around that 5th to 10th spot, even in some of the biggest races. So good to see her still out there putting in big effort.
And here you have it, big moment. It's a massive sigh of relief. You can see the weight comes off the shoulders almost now for Laura Vidonska. But a great performance. Always good to win in front of a home crowd. Leonie Benfeld carrying that World Champs form into the back end of the season. And Manon Bakker